everyone, Sarah here with Taco Jeep Adventures. Today I'm going to be installing the CavFab heavy-duty tire carrier on my Jeep JK. Here's everything that comes in the box. We've got the hinges, the spacers, the tire carrier portion, and all the hardware, which comes individually packaged. This also comes with self-lubricating oil light bushings. The first thing you need to do is remove all the old stuff. I did have these Moride heavy-duty hinges. They have, I guess, served me well. I did that when I put the 35 on here, but I still have that old stock carrier back here that's managed to hang on through all my adventuring with this 35-inch tire. So let's get to it. Now that all the old stuff is gone, I decided I would cover some of the bare metal with some old touch-up paint that I had that was drying out, so it looks pretty bad. But I don't really care because no one's ever going to see that. The first thing we're going to do is install these hinges to the top and bottom here on the body. I'm going to thread them in lightly so that once I get the tailgate on, there's still adjustability. The hardware that we'll use for this one is this first pack with the bolts and washers. I tighten these bolts by hand for the time being. As you can see, the bolt heads are under the hinge, so when you go to tighten them, you will need a 13mm crowfoot wrench. The next step will be to install the bushings. The bushings need a little bit of tapping to get into place. Alright, now that the bushings have been pushed in on both sides, we can drop these little guys in. Whoops. Oh, that one went way too easy. I have my helper Zoe here. She is going to put this bolt in through here when I have the tailgate lined up. Okay, Zoe. Keep pushing. Here, put the bottom one in. Okay. I'm gonna get my little hammer.
My mom had technical difficulties.
Yep. Now we can thread on the nuts on the bottom. And we can tighten those down.
Kind of hard to hold it. There you go.
You got it. Alright, so to tighten this big bolt down, you're going to need a 21mm wrench and a 22mm socket. Alright, so we're going to take 2 of these spacers, and then you're going to use the bolts that have the non-threaded part here and the provided washers, and we're gonna put these back here. This is gonna be hard, actually. Oh my gosh, this is really hard. I don't even... I'm trying to balance these two spacers.
You might drop stuff, but it looks difficult even though. Yeah.
Alright, well that was really difficult getting those spacers back there, but they're in, and now I'm going to use a 13mm socket and my impact and get these tightened down just a little bit. Now that I got these 4 bolts in place, which that was so far the hardest part of this install, I can take these 8 remaining bolts with their washers, and they go all around where your old tire carrier bolts were. Alright, so now it's time to torque down all of our bolts. These bolts here are going to be 19 foot-pounds, and the rest of them to the tailgate are going to be 15. So for these hinge to body bolts, you may need to remove the taillight to have enough room, and we'll use a 13mm crowfoot wrench to torque the bolt. Alright, now I have another helper. So we're getting the tire carrier portion put on. These are all 16mm bolts and nuts, and right now we test fitted my spare, and we want to bring it closer to the vehicle a bit. So this part will actually slide in so that the tire can be tucked really close to the Jeep. And that's it, guys. This thing is beefy. It's a little bit hard to open. I think it's because one of my bushings was kind of tight. This one, actually, I had to tap the bushing in a little bit, but it's definitely solid. So, change of scenery. Now that I've been running this tire carrier for about 3 weeks, I wanted to give an honest review of how I feel about it. First, I got this tire carrier because I've had these 35-inch tires on my Jeep on the stock setup for about 2 years, and you know, it was always one of those things in the back of my mind, like, is my tire carrier gonna crack or break while I'm off-roading? Am I gonna hit my tire on the ground and damage something? So this has been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And as I said, I did have those MORryde hinges before, and I thought they were doing a good job. I don't think so. My first drive to work with this new tire carrier, I didn't hear any rattling coming from my tailgate. Actually, I didn't even know my tailgate was rattling until I installed this and went for a drive. So this definitely is the key to carrying your bigger tire. This tire carrier is meant to hold up to a 40-inch tire. I don't plan to ever go that big, but if I do decide to upgrade, I know it's going to be solid enough to carry the weight. Another thing that's really cool about this carrier is that you can adjust the height and how far away from the Jeep your tire is. I adjusted mine to be as close to the Jeep as I could make it, and I put it up a little bit higher than it was, so hopefully when I'm hitting those really steep inclines, I have less of a chance to hit my tire on the ground. Another cool feature that's part of this carrier is right here. You can mount a high lift jack or jerry cans to the carrier itself. So far, I don't really have any plans to mount anything here, but it's there in case I ever need to. So I want to talk about the install. I don't think the install could have gone easier. I mean, I got these hinge parts on, and then when I put the tire carrier portion on, I was able to adjust it where it needed to be. I bolted it in and then tightened all these bolts back here that hold it to the body,
and I mean, it was too easy. The fitment is perfect. It's amazing. I'm really happy with this product. So it does come bare steel. You see I have mine powder coated. I got mine powder coated at a local shop, and even they were impressed with the build quality on this product. I am super happy I went with this. I can tell it's a very solid product, and I know it's gonna last me for years to come. So I did mention just after the install that the tailgate itself seemed like it was a little difficult to open. I mean, for the most part, it slides really well. It's just that last little portion, it takes a little bit extra. You'll see it slides really nice. But it's solid, it holds itself in place, so I mean, I guess that's kind of nice. And it closes real nice. I hope you all found this review and install helpful. If you want to follow my adventures, you can find me on Instagram at Sarah9JKU. If you like this shirt I'm wearing, you can follow my friend at APRev1776.com to order your Patriot apparel. Until next time, guys, take care.